I'm Morgan Creed. I'm one of the conservators at the National Museum of the Royal Navy, and we are currently aboard HMS Warrior in her engine room, and we are taking part in the annual deep clean of the Warrior engine. So visitors can often see us working on the engine, but they're kind of far away and don't get to see what's actually going on close up. So today we'll show you in a little bit more detail what we get up to. So the engine isn't actually original. She was built in the 1980s when Warrior was at dry dock in Hartlepool. However, we do like to keep her running smoothly and make sure she's well looked after. Part of the reason we do this every year is because the engine gets a lot of dust. There's open gratings which visitors can walk on the decks above. We also get general rubbish which falls down here. And also because this level is under the waterline, it gets very cold in winter and it can also get very moist. So condensation tends to build up on the metal elements and causes them to corrode. Because the engine is such a huge object, she spans 2 decks, all of the conservation team help out with the annual conservation. So we have the shipkeepers who look after the ships daily, and we also have the conservation technicians as well as the conservators.
Hi there, my name is Louise Bowhay. I'm a shipkeeper here at the NMRN. As part of the cleaning schedule, once a year we come down here, we take off all the dust that's accumulated over the time. There's a lot of grease here as well which needs to come off, and we also have coatings that we put on. Now the problem with these is they can get very sticky and they can attract all the dust that comes down from up above.
One of the things we can do to reduce corrosion occurring in the engine room is to use coatings to stop oxygen and moisture getting to it. Coatings we have on at the moment, which we've used previously, is really good for reducing that decay, but it does tend to stay tacky. And this causes us a lot of problems as all the dust becomes stuck and trapped to the surface. So one of the first things we do is we take a microfiber cloth and we try and remove the coating manually. And then if this doesn't work, if there's some greasy patches which are particularly stubborn, we can use a product which contains limonene. So this is from lemons, and that will just cut straight through the grease. After we've removed all the previous coatings and any grease coating the surface, we then have a look and see if we've got any orange corrosion, anything that's active. And we do have a lot along here. Then we use one of these, which is like a giant rubber, but with very fine grit in it. So it's almost like rubbing out a pencil mistake on your notebook, but we do it with rust. And it's really, really important as we do it to go along with the machine marks to make sure that we keep those in place and don't lose them as we're abrading.
Hi, I'm Rachel Trembath. I'm the conservation technician here at NMRN. One of the parts I've been working on is this particular section. The part is in black paint, and that means that we can't use some of the chemicals we would normally use on it. So instead we've been using a non-ionic detergent, which is just enabling us to remove the dust and the mould that has been accumulating since the last deep clean. The reason that we've ended up with some mould growing down here is that the relative humidity gets very, very high down here, and there's not a huge amount of airflow because we're right in the bottom of the ship. So that's why mould is able to sort of start growing on certain parts of the engine. I cleaned half of it just to illustrate the difference between a cleaned and an uncleaned section. My later task will be to finish cleaning this to remove all of the mould and all of the dust.
So every year we come in and we take that back and make sure she stays around for a lot longer.